Welcome to Let's Read the Books of Morrowind. Smuggler's Island by Quade Anarian. It took a little over an hour for Harathol to search the island from one end to the other. He turned back to Cerise, who was where he left him, half buried in the sand to pack his broken bones. One of the crates of moon sugar was open. "You're sampling the merchandise?" asked Harathol angrily. "It takes away the pain," said Cerise. "How far away are we?" "We didn't make it as far as the mainland," said Harathol. "I can't see the coastline at all. But that's not all. I haven't found anything edible anywhere. Just weeds and a few scraggly trees." "And no other survivors?" asked Cerise. "No, looks like we're the only ones. I guess the nice way to look at it is that if we're rescued, we can divide the profits between 2 rather than 12. "So we'll either be rich or dead," said Cerise. "That's a comfort." Cerise was too battered to be of much help, but Harathol was able to construct a crude shelter weaving the sandweeds. As night fell on the small island, the two men discussed the smuggling operation and what went wrong. Their boat, laden with 5 crates of moon sugar, was supposed to meet another, the Sun Chariot, off the coast of Laoad. Who could have predicted the storm? Who could have predicted that everyone would drown, from the bold captain to the mysterious figure with ties to one of the royal houses? Everyone except Cerise and Harathol. They decided that it was all the whim of Boethia, or one of the other Daedra with cruel senses of humour. Finding fresh water was their first goal, and it turned out to be a fruitless quest. Harathol dug deeply, but there were no springs under the island, just sand and rock. Cerise felt panic seizing his soul, until he saw the small, quick golden fish swimming at the edges of the island. He had read somewhere that fish not only were food, but there was always a little fresh water within them. If he could catch one, the 2 men could be saved. With his broken legs, he was a pathetic predator, and he was soon reduced to hurling rocks at the alert and nimble little fish. Harathol watched Cerise's futile endeavour for a little while before getting to work. He used his small knife to whittle a point on a long, straight tree branch until he had fashioned a spear. Again and again he thrust the spear at the fish, but he had no more success than Cerise and his stones. "Have you never used a spear before?" asked Cerise. "It's not my weapon of choice," said Harathol, quietly, watching his prey and missing another with a splash and a curse. "And chow!" Cerise laughed. "Do you want a rock?" Harathol ignored Cerise, murmuring, "The trick as I've heard it is to anticipate where your target's going to go and aim your spear there, not where they are now. I just have to observe them a little longer. Why can't the little fetchers swim in straight lines?" After an hour of flailing about, Harathol, by luck, managed to spear a fish. The men tore it apart and ate it raw. As the days and weeks went by, Harathol got better and better until he was able to strike quickly and with great accuracy. He could hit a fish by throwing the spear or by plunging it at one of his feet. Cerise made fire, but being lame, he had to rely on Harathol for all the food. It was nearly 2 months after washing ashore that the men saw a boat on the horizon. They set a large fire and the crew saw them. As it approached, they saw that it was the Sun Chariot, the very boat they were to have met on the night of the storm. The smugglers aboard would pay them good money for the moon sugar. Luckily, Cerise had used only a little bit of it, and they still had 5 nearly full crates. They were not only going to be saved, they were going to be rich, just as Harathol had said. Harathol excitedly started to help Cerise to his feet, but the man rose on his own. "You can walk," he said, laughing. "It's a miracle." "Cerise is not too steady, though," said Cerise. "Would you gather up the crates?" Harathol, overjoyed at rescue at long last, began picking up the crates and stacking them. "I wish you had told me that you could walk, though, mate. I could have used your help spearing dinner all these months." "Cerise watches, though," said Cerise. "You'd be surprised how much you can learn just by watching. Don't forget the 5th crate over by the tree." Cerise shuffled over to the shore and saw that the boat was only a few minutes from landing. "And Cerise listens. When you said that a fortune divided by 2 was more profitable than a fortune divided by 12, Cerise listened to that too." Cerise shuffled back to the crate by the tree. "And it occurred to Cerise that a fortune divided by 1 was even better." Cerise pulled a spear out of Harathol's skull. The trajectory had been perfect. It had fallen down from the branches as soon as the crate was removed, just as he had planned. Like you said, the trick is to anticipate where your target's going to go and aim your spear there. Cerise pushed the crate to the shore and waved the boat in.